Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another episode of PJs and Coffee Time. As you can see, I am sitting at my kitchen table. I have my coffee here. I'm drinking my coffee out of a newly purchased mug that I share with you all in one of my vlogs. And as you all know, I love sharing mugs with you. And so actually, I decided that today, my tip of the day would be find that little something that makes you happy. I've been messaging back with one of my subscribers that just recently had a birthday, and she'd mentioned that she asked her husband to carry a coffee maker, and she was like, it was because of you. And now she has her thing with her little cups of different mugs, and she has her coffee. And so I got to thinking, and I was like, you know, everybody needs that little something. Like, this does it for me, totally do it for me. I can, you know, I can have my mug, my favorite mug of that point in time, and just be in my own world and be totally happy. For some of you, it may be burning candles. Like right now, I have a candle burning, and a candle is also something that I do enjoy as well. So right now, I'm surrounded by a couple of things that actually make me really happy, relaxes me, and puts me in that mood of just being like, you know, just being content with myself. And so, my tip of the day is find that little something. It doesn't have to be a coffee mug. It doesn't have to be a candle. It could be a walk in the park. It could be sitting on your patio. It could be all of the things that I mentioned. Whatever it is, it gives you that little peace of mind. Find that and hold on to it and utilize it to make your day better. Now, my mug today is one that is full of controversy amongst my girlfriend and myself. It's such a cute mug, and it fits me so much. The top line says single, the second one says taken, and the third one says hustling. Now, single's crossed out and taken's crossed out. Hustling is not. To know me would know that you know that I will make comments all the time about, you know, that, you know, I'm constantly hustling. I'm constantly trying to make a day, make it, you know, make it through this world. And, you know, I make jokes about, like, you know, I'm gonna find me a rich man and so I can retire. I just do weird, it's my way of just being silly and funny. And so when my girlfriend saw this mug, she was like, girl, you need to get this. You need this in your life desperately. And so, yeah, so, so anyway, I just love this mug. I just felt like it kind of suits me and the silly things that I say sometimes. And I do all the time about, I need a Sancho to take care of me. You know, just silly things all the time. It's just me. It's my way of joking around. And so this mug just totally suits me. So anyway. And I do like the back of the mug. It has a set of lips on it. And I just think, I don't know, I just like this mug. These are so cute. I've been seeing these a lot in TJ Maxx, the ones that have the little lips on the back of them. And then they have some kind of little saying on the front. Now, you guys know I would prefer to have sayings on the back and the front just because. But at least I do have the lips. So I have something to show outward if I am drinking out of the mug and I have it the other way. So anyway, this mug is like super hot right now. So if you guys see me kind of going like this, that's why. So yeah, so let's go ahead and get into it, shall we? Now, I hope you all have read the description bar and know exactly what's getting ready to transpire, know exactly what you should have done already by now. I hope you're all comfortable and prepared. So let's just go ahead and get into this video. I kind of felt like I wasn't gonna do a video today just because I've been just so tired. And again, once again, things happen and it's like it's forced into me that I have to do this. Yesterday I was visiting with my neighbors and we were talking about, like, I don't even know how we got on the subject, but we got on the subject about family members and saying, you know, when loved ones pass away, how we mourn for our loved ones. And then yesterday I was going through my emails because, you know, I'll be honest with you, sometimes it can be a few days before I check my emails. And I had an email from one of my subscribers, and I read that email and I thought, okay, girl, you got to get up Sunday morning and you got to do this video. I try so hard sometimes to do them earlier, but it just doesn't always work out because I have such a busy schedule. So here I am at Sunday morning. So hopefully I'll get this video uploaded at a decent time. But I do really want to sit here and talk to, and I think I wanted to sit at my kitchen table mainly because I wanted to have an upright, I want to look you in the eye, and I want us to have a true conversation. Feel free to share this video with your kids because this video is for the kids. And kids, I want to direct this directly to you before you look at your mom or your dad and have something smart to say, like, what did you do? What are you doing telling our business to a total stranger? To be perfectly honest with you, this video is coming from a numerous of people sharing things with me. So this may not be yours. This is probably not your specific situation, but if the shoe fits, wear it. You know, if you all intense and you got your underwear in an uproar, that's because you're probably guilty. So before you latch out at your mother or your father, sit down, take a moment and just watch this video, because I'm not saying anybody's name, so it's not like when this video ends that someone's gonna knock on your door and say, yo, Joe Blow, you know, you did your mother wrong or you did your father wrong. No one's gonna know who you are, but your actions will certainly put you on blast. So now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about this, shall we? I'm gonna say something first and foremost. When my parents passed away, I had no regrets. I don't know of a day that my parents had to wonder if I loved them, wonder if they were going to hear from me. I don't know of a day that my parents ever went to bed at night thinking that their baby girl didn't care, and that knowing that they may not hear from their baby girl for weeks or days or months or whatever. I talked to my parents practically every single day of my life. And when I say practically, I mean, of course, there were a few days here and there that I missed. But from the time I left home as an adult until the day I buried each one of my parents, they knew that I loved them. They knew that I respected them. And they knew that they had a daughter out there that would always, always have their back. Now, I'm going to ask you, is there a parent right now that went to bed last night, woke up this morning, and don't know where their children are, don't know if their children love them or not, wondering why their child isn't speaking to them, or maybe even knowing that, you know, the edges of why, or maybe even knowing like a part of why the child is not speaking to them, but not understanding why. It's really a sad situation. I've heard so much lately about children and parents and even just loved ones in general, not just children, but sisters and brothers and cousins and, you know, just family members in general, just like not being there for each other. Yesterday, my neighbor mentioned to me that when she was a little girl, and she said, you know, and this was a random conversation. It amazes me at how things will just come into play. We're standing outside, the neighborhood's doing a yard sale. I'm standing outside talking to my neighbor, and how we got on the subject, I don't know. But somehow or another we got on the subject, and we talked about when a loved one passes away, and that family member that you see at the funeral, or when the news come that so-and-so has passed away, and you have that family member that falls out in tears and they can't seem to get a hold to their emotions, and they don't want to talk about that person's death later on after the, you know, they can't in general just mention that person's name, or, you know, and some people would say, you know, to the person that's sitting over there may have shed a tear or two, but they seem so content, they seem at peace with that person passing away. Now, some people look at that person and they say, well, she or he must not love their mother or their father or their sister or their brother or whatever the case may be, because they're not crying. But there's so-and-so over there, and, you know, she's hurt and she's distraught, she's lost her family member. Well, I beg to differ, because when you know that that person has passed on and everything's been said, all the love has been passed through, you are at a certain amount of peace with everything. yes, you're going to miss that person. And yes, you're torn apart inside. And you're thinking, you know, how am I going to go on? But there's a certain amount of peace that God gives you because you know that when that person left this earth, there was nothing left unsaid. That your mom or your dad, they knew exactly how you felt. You told them on a daily basis that you loved them. You did things to make them proud of you. You were there as a child should be. Now, if you are that person and you weren't doing those things and you left and you wasn't speaking and you wasn't saying I love you and you weren't doing the things that you were supposed to do in life, then yes, you're going to be distraught. Yes, you're going to cry. Yes, you're not going to be comfortable talking about that person's death or like making fun. When I say making fun, I don't mean literally like making fun, but you know, making the funny jokes about like how, oh my God, do you remember how mom used to do this? Or if mom saw you doing that, girl, she would say, girl. I can do that with my brother. My brother and I get together and we make jokes about our mom and our dad, of how our lives were growing up and how the comments would go back and forth and how the silly things that we did. And we do it and we laugh when we're doing it because we're at peace. They're in a better place. They're resting. But when they left this earth, they knew that we loved them dearly. Now, for some reason, children have this idea that when their parents get to be a certain age, or maybe when they get to be a certain age, I don't know, because I've never had that feeling before. I never thought that it was my responsibility to tell my parents what to do. I don't even know where kids get that idea from. Mom, dad, they are the parents. Even that I'm 50, even that you're 40, even that you're 30, your mother and your father are still your parents. You respect them. You don't get to tell them what to do. There is no point in life that you're able or you're qualified even to tell your parents what to do. You know, there's so many sicknesses in this world right now. Cancer survivors, people that have heart problems, people that have had strokes. Life is so precious. What gives you the right to tell your mother or your father how to spend their money? Do you feel that if they spend their money while they're alive, that it's going to be less left on this earth for you when they're gone? Shame on you. Why is it your money? Why should it be given to your kids? Why should it be given to you? Why do you need to have something left over from your parents other than the love that they gave you all of their lives? Do you feel that they owe you something? Is that why you feel that you need to step in and tell them you're spending too much money, or you shouldn't be doing this, or you shouldn't be doing that, or getting mad because, you know, mom or dad have this little thing that they like, whether it's collecting coffee mugs or teapots, or they just love animals and they want to be surrounded by animals because their animals do it for them. And I'm getting a bad focusing thing going on right now. Okay, come on, camera. There we go. There we go. What gives you the right? I don't understand. Why do you feel you have a say in it? First of all, life is so short. You don't know if your mother or your father will be there tomorrow. For someone right now, this video is being posted, they didn't have that chance. Their parents passed away yesterday. They had a parent that left this earth yesterday. So them seeing this video won't do anything for them. It's too late for that parent. But if you are watching this video, or your mom or your dad shared this video with you and you're sitting in front of it thinking, I don't want to watch this crap. I don't want to watch some crazy lady sitting here telling me what to do with my life because how does she know and who is she and it's none of her business. No, it really isn't my business. But what is my business is when I see people hurt and I see people with tears in their eyes and I hear stories of people passing away and the child is distraught because they wake up one day and they realize that it's too late. They can't go back. They can't go back and say, Mom, I'm sorry. Dad, I'm sorry. I understand now why, even though you didn't have the energy to do very much, but every day you would take the dog outside to where he could go to the bathroom and you'd scoop up his poop because that gave you happiness. That made you feel worthy of something because everything else you feel may have been taken away. Because people that have illnesses, they are so restricted at times and maybe they can't do any of the things that they used to do. But they have this one little thing. And maybe to you, it looks like it's way too much. And you're thinking, well, I don't want him to do that because I don't want it to hurt him. Well, you know what? Maybe it's saving his life. I'll tell you a little story, and my eye is jumping, so forgive me, y'all, if it looks like I'm winking at you. I'll tell you all a little story, because y'all know I have a story to go with everything. My grandfather died at 98 years old, my mother's father. They lived on several hundreds of acres of land. They owned a small house and lots of land. They farmed. They were your average, typical country family. They had 12 children and tons of us grandchildren. We worked the crops as children. We were the breadwinners. We were the laborers for our grandparents. And I loved it. I loved growing up in that atmosphere. Now, my grandfather, up until the last little time that he had on this earth, would get on his tractor and he would drive and drive all through that property, 90-some years old, doing this almost every day of his life. My grandmother used to say to me, I worry about Time so much. My grandfather was named Tom, but my grandmother had a pet name for him. She called him Time. And she'd say, I worry about him so much when he gets on that tractor, but he looks so at peace. Now, you know, my mother could have said, Papa, you should, or I say Papa because that's my Papa, but she could have said, Daddy, I don't want you on that tractor every day. She could get mad at my grandmother and say, Grandma or Mama, why are you letting Papa do, why? See, y'all know I'm getting all confused because I call him Papa. Why are you letting Daddy do this? But instead, my mom knew the importance that even though there were days that he didn't feel good and it probably wasn't safe that he be so far away from the house out there in the wilderness, because there were all kinds of things. I mean, when I say we were out in the country, we were out in the country. There were trees and there were bears in those woods. There were snakes out there. But my grandpa, every day, almost, practically every day of his life, that was his happiness. He'd get on that tractor and he'd have his bib overalls on and he drives and looks out over his property and think about all. He wasn't still doing the crops as much anymore because he was too old for that. Some of the kids had picked up that responsibility, but he had to know and see what he had. It kept him going every day of his life. So when you have that parent that is very sick and you feel like they're taking on too much responsibility doing whatever it is that they're doing, know that that little responsibility is probably what's keeping them alive. Having those dogs or those cats is probably what gets them up out of that bed every morning. Because you're laying in the bed and you're thinking, I don't feel good today. I'm hurting today. I'm weak today. But when that little four-legged creature comes to the bedside and whines and says he needs to go outside or he wants his food, you look over at that little creature and you say, okay, I get you. And they get up and they go on. So children of all ages, I beg you from the bottom of my heart, don't let time happen and make it too late. Don't let time get away from you. Don't be that person that sat at the funeral and you're screaming and crying because you know you don't have another chance. If you picked up the phone right now, or if you're sitting in the presence of your parents and they convince you to watch this video with them, awesome. Take them by the hand right now and let them know that you're sorry. Just say the words, I'm sorry. And I can promise you, no mother and no father will turn you away. Because the funny thing about when the child does all of these crazy things and it hurts the mom or the dad, when the child comes back around or snaps into reality, Mom, Dad, they open their arms and they take you back in because they love you just that much. So if there's nothing left over for you when they pass away because they bought new cars, Rolex watches, they took trips, then good. Let their last days on this earth be happy ones. Because you know, Parents do a lot of sacrificing. They work hard to give you the things that they give you in life. And no, maybe not every parent is on an income level where they were able to give you big gifts and take you, pay for college education and buy you brand new cars when you graduated from high school and all those things. Not all parents are going to be on that level. I was one of those parents not on that level, trust me. I gave my son my car at 16, and that was the only car I'd ever given him. I wasn't that parent that could give my child a whole lot. But I gave him what I had to give. I sacrificed what I had to sacrifice. And I'm very blessed that my son gets that. And I don't take it for granted. I pray that every day of his life he understands and never takes that wrong turn. I don't take it for granted one bit. But I will say this, if he ever was to take that wrong turn and he realized that he took the wrong turn and he came back, my arms will be opened. I will take him back in because I love him just that much. So don't be afraid. Don't wonder. They will love you anyway. Just know that your parents are entitled to be happy. And it's not up to you to determine that happiness for them. If they leave you nothing but the memories, memories are priceless. You will be able to set back. My parents didn't leave us anything. We have a house. The house that we grew up in. That's it. That's all they left us. Their burial policy paid for their funerals. I think there was maybe a couple $100 left over. That paid the taxes on the house for the next couple of years. That's all we got. Nothing. But I wasn't expecting anything. They took care of me for 18 years. They loved me. They brought me into this world. They taught me how to love. They gave me a foundation. And that's all they were obligated to do. That's all your parents are obligated to do. Eyes jumping again. So don't have your hand out. Don't start thinking, well, you know, I've got daughters or sons and my parents are going through all their money and there's nothing going to be left over. You don't deserve anything. You should not have anything coming your way. Your parents should spend as much as they want to spend. Now, if they spend and there's still something left over, then so be it. But you should not live every day of your life expecting them to be thinking of what they're going to leave you on this earth when they pass away. Because they're not entitled to leave you anything. And then, you know, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the other kids that you're past the age of 18 and you're still living in your parents' house and you don't want to live by their rules. You want to make your own rules. You can't walk out that door and buy yourself a cup of coffee at a coffee shop because you don't make any money. You don't have any responsibility. Yet you try to run the show. You try to tell your parents what they're supposed to do. You have no respect for them. You come in when you feel like coming in. You do God knows what under their roof, the home that they are providing for you to live in. And you think that's right? How dare you? You're pissed off at your mom or your dad because they put you out? Well, you know what? They should have put you out. Why are you trying to live off of your parents? The money that they have in their presence should be money that they use for themselves. It should be money that they can take trips on. It should be money that if they want a new car, they can buy a new car. If they want a new watch, they can buy a new watch. If they want a $1,000 purse, they can buy a $1,000 purse. They have no obligation to take care of you. If you are over the age of 18, get up off your tail and do something with your life. If you are living off of your parents and you think that they owe you because of what? Why? And you're doing drugs and you're drinking and you're smoking and you're doing all kinds of crazy things in their home, disrespecting everything that they believe in. Why? What is wrong with you? Why do you think that is okay? And why is it that you can only send a text message and you can't pick up the phone and you can't say, Mom, Dad, I understand. I know why you kicked me out. I will do better. I will make you proud. Making you proud, though, doesn't mean that they need to let you back in, because they shouldn't let you back in. But what you should do is you should get out there and hustle. See this word right here? This word says hustle. Now, this mug doesn't totally pertain to that, but see this word? Well, it says hustling, but hustle, you know, a portion of the word hustling. Hustle, work. And when I say hustle, I'm not talking illegal hustling. I'm talking about go to a legit job, put in applications, get yourself a job, make something out of your life, make your parents proud. Daughters, you know, I never had one, and I always wanted a daughter. I only have my son. I'm totally content with that. But where is the respect that our young girls are supposed to have for themselves? I noticed this when my child was young, and how I saw some young girls doing some pretty not so happy things around my son. Girls have lost a lot of respect for themselves, and I guess a lot of it has to do with this world that we live in, because things are just so at their fingertips these days. And I totally get that we should be able to do, go and come and do, because, you know, that's the world that we live in. But never lose respect for yourself. Girls, you're having babies by men, and you feel proud. You think, oh, I can, you know, this solves something. This makes this man mine. Well, guess what? You're going to be the one left holding the bag, because he can go away. That baby, you will be left to take care of. So understand me. When you decide to choose a boyfriend or a significant other in your life, think about it. Is this person going to be able to give me the things that I need in my life? Is he going to be able to be a positive influence on my life? And especially before you think that it's okay to have a child with a person like that, make sure you've done the homework. Make sure that before you take that 5-minute lie down with him, that you know what you're getting yourself into. Because it only takes one time, and one time could give you a world that you will be forever responsible for. And when your mother or your father is telling you that that person is no good for you, I get it. I know that you got to see it for yourself. I get that. But listen to them, because they're telling you this out of love from their hearts. And some parents are telling you this from their own experience. So when the kid comes back and says, well, you did it, Mom, you know, I get that too. But when a mother sits down and says to a child, I made those same mistakes and I don't want you to make those mistakes, she's saying it from her heart. You know, you could already be pregnant. You could already be carrying a child that the father is really not going to be a good influence, not going to be a positive role model in that child's life. Allow the father to be a father, yes, if he's willing to do it. But disassociate yourself from the bad things. Give that child a chance to have a better life. Wake up and take ownership. Take on responsibility. Do the right thing. If you haven't made a child yet, practice safe birth control. And even then, there is no guarantee. So again, I say, know what you're getting yourself into. This has been a video, y'all. It has definitely been something that I'm very passionate about. I'm really big on respect. To those of you who don't know that, respect is a big thing for me. And when I get emails or I sit and have conversations with my neighbor, there were 2 neighbors standing there, and we all 3 of us had basically the same conversation about when our loved ones pass away. One of my neighbors was talking about when her father passed away, and how they had a relative that was distraught, just could not get it together. But the reason was because that particular person had wronged the father. They had not been speaking to the father. They had been angry at the father because he was sickened with cancer, and he was trying to live the last few days of his life as happy as he possibly could, doing the few things that he could still do. That that particular person was angry because they felt like you're pushing your death to be more sooner than it needs to be because you're forcing yourself to do this, this, and this, and the third. Well, you know what? That doing that this, and this, and the third was what kept him going, because he wanted to have a purpose. He wanted to have a reason to wake up in the morning, and even if he couldn't go any further than the backyard, that was his backyard to go into. He could hear the birds chirping. He could see the sun come up. He could watch the sun go down. So even though you felt like he should have stayed in the bed, even though in your mind he was doing too much, he was doing what made him happy. Let them have their last moment of happiness, whatever the situation might be. So I need to go ahead and close this video out now, but I encourage you to share this video. If you're a parent that you are suffering and you don't know how to reach out to your child, you've tried everything, share this video. I don't know that it'll help. It could cause even more problems, because you know sometimes people can't face when they are confronted with the truth. But if you are the child, or you're the recipient of this video being shared with you, don't be upset with the person that shared it with you. Know that I don't know who you are. No one knows your name. No one knows anything about you. Watch the video. Listen to what that person has to say to you. Take ownership. Try to do better. Say I'm sorry. Look over your life. Try to do better. Thank your parents for putting you out, making you be responsible. Thank your parents for loving you just that much, because that's what love is. Do you think a mother wants to see her child suffer? Do you think a mother don't want to hear from their child? You carry that child inside your body for 9 months. You lay on a table full of pain, giving birth to that child. No mother wants to see that child hurt. Trust me. If you're able to see this video, it's not too late. Please, I beg you, reconcile with your parents. Love your parents. My mother and my father are gone. I love them till the day they die. Did I always agree with everything that they said or did? No. We're human. But what I did know is that they were loving parents, and the decisions that were made in their lives were their decisions to make. And far be it for me to have any concern, far be it for me to feel that it was okay for me to do anything other than just love my parents. And that's what I did. I love my memories. And like I said, I have nothing. My brother have nothing. My sister have nothing. We are 3 children that were left with beautiful memories. And we wouldn't trade it for anything in this world. Make peace with your parents. Make peace with your sister. Make peace with your brother. Make peace with your cousin. Make peace with the neighbor. Because it's not just really about family members in general. This video, I'm geared it towards children because lately, like I said, it's been the children that have been, it's been hitting me that it's going on with the children. But overall, this video is for everybody that has someone that they pushed away, someone that they're not talking to. You know, there are also parents that are not talking to their children. Now, we're going to do another video on that one because that one deserves its own conversation. But if you're a parent, I'm going to say this very quickly, and then we're going to post a video on that one real soon. But if you're a parent and you are, for whatever reason, pushing your child away, and you are, because, you know, I keep it real, y'all. I know, because some kids are going to sit here and say, see, she always talking about the kids, but nobody ever think about what the parents do to the kids. Yes, I know that, okay? I know that all parents aren't good parents. I'm fully aware of that. They're going to have their moment on this camera also. So if you are a parent and you're doing something right now, you're being disrespectful to your kid, you have a kid that is needing you in their lives. You have a kid that's getting ready to graduate from college, but you don't think enough of them to be at their graduation. Shame on you. There is a parent in this world right now that I know has made that decision. Not a good parent. You can tell me anything you want to tell me. Not a good parent. Actions speak for itself. So when I tell y'all I call a spade, I call a spade a spade. So I'm not sitting here saying that it's all the children and never the parents. So don't get me wrong on that. Know that this video is geared towards the children. Thank you guys so very much for taking the time to be a part of this video. I beg of you, before it's too late, make amends. If you're watching this video and you've not seen any of my videos before, I know it's a little bit late saying it, but I want to welcome you. I want to welcome you to this channel. I want to welcome you to PJs and Coffee Time. It is a time that I use to reach out to the world. And everything that I talk about may or may not be geared towards you and your life, but it's always worth listening. Because the truth of the matter is that we all have a little something that goes on in our lives every day. And to all of my subbies, you guys know who you are. You reach out to me. You guys know how much I love you and how much when you guys share with me what you share with me, you give me the opportunity to sit here and talk to a whole world of people. Because it's not just you going through it. It's someone else going through it. It's your neighbor going through it. It's the lady that's 360,000 miles across the world going through it. It's the father who is sitting down right now with tears in his eyes because his son won't speak to him, because he had to be a father and stand his ground. So I totally get it. I know that there's a purpose. And so thank each and every one of you for being here with me today. I encourage you to come back each and every Sunday. I know that sometimes I may not do a video, and speaking of, this coming up Sunday will probably not be a video. I will be on vacation. I would love to do one between now and Sunday, but I'm not going to promise you that I'm going to get it up. I will keep you informed on my Instagram, which my Instagram will be right here. I will keep you informed on that, but I will be back if you don't see me on Sunday. PJs and Coffee Time, they're not going anywhere. This is a good time. You guys have a fantastic day. Know that you are loved. Know that you are worth something. Know that your time, know that this too shall pass. Have a great day. Thank you again for watching.